Greetings, family. Happy Juma. Happy Friday. I am coming on because I wanted you to see the helicopter landing. Can you get it in there? Let's see it. Hold on. Okay. That's the second one that landed. I'm over here along South Street Seaport. That building there is where the ferry takes you to Governor's Island. I'm going to try to get to Governor's Island if I can. Stay tuned for that. But I wanted to recreate this walk. Travel with Tay was watching the first video where I was silent, but just sharing. You know, I said, come walk with me. Sometimes in the afternoon when I'm working out, I like to get my 10,000 or more steps in. I am on my lunch break. And as the weather gets warmer, you see more activity. So here is the Circle Line. The Circle Line is a very popular boat service that has been in business for decades. Okay? Along here is the highway, and there are some office buildings here. Nice places to sit, especially as the weather gets hot out. And in Manhattan, people are always doing stuff, whether they're walking, running, riding the bikes, or enjoying the tourism. So as you see there, people are getting off the helicopter. You can pay to take a helicopter ride. Now, if you remember, about, I want to say 2 months ago, it was a little overcast and windy, and along that end over there across the water, that is New Jersey, and along the Jersey side, the helicopter started to fall to pieces. And they did an investigation. They had talked about monitoring the number of helicopters that leave from the pier. I think it's Pier 6. And I remember one day seeing 4 helicopters out there. So it's an attraction. I don't know how much it costs. I Google everything. If anyone knows me, I Google everything. If I had been doing this live, I would have Googled the downtown Skyport to see how much it costs. And if you come with like 4 people, 5 people, I don't know how many they hold, you can split the cost, right? So another copter, it came in, but it's landing closer to the left of me, and I think we're going to miss it. I see the blade going, so it looks like this is Pier 6. Pier Numero 6. Let me see. So there's the other one. Let's watch. So it looks like this group of people, they're getting onto the copter. Let's see if I can find them. Put my shades up. Move over. Oh no. What happened? I thought that group over there was walking to it. Maybe it's moving over. No? Okay. That white one took off. But this one here, let's see. that family is getting on. I remember, oh my God, I don't even know how long this happened. This was about maybe 10 years ago. It's been more than 10 years. I remember when I was working at Midtown Manhattan, and there was a report that a helicopter had hit into a residential building. I think it was a residential building in Manhattan. And they thought maybe initially that it was, you know, an attack or something like that. But there was a, let me reduce this. There was a, I think like a Yankee baseball player who was learning how to fly a helicopter and had come into the city to fly, and he banged up the building. So I'm gonna need to do some research to see. I figured if he flew into the building, it didn't end well for him. I'm just saying. So I remember the whole incident because the son was being mistreated by his classmates and other people because they were calling his father a terrorist, which was weird, and it was just an accident. I am going to be taking the New York City waterway. I'm going to Brooklyn by ferry, and I will share that with you. It's only $2.90. So I think if you take the Circle Liner, of course you're going further, you get to see more things. They tell you about stuff and other stuff. This is where you go for the heli New York. This is it here. So if you want to go, hello. Oh, sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, so she gave me a brochure. Let's look. I just want to know how much it costs. Hold on. Let me get my hands free. I'm eating some fruit jellies from work. They give us complimentary snacks in the afternoon. And I grabbed some before walking. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking at the price. So look at, here's the view from the helicopter. They have these huge windows, very comfortable seating. I just want to know the money. There are a few places you can go. They have 3 packages. The New Yorker package, the Ultimate package, and then there's the Deluxe. You know we like the Deluxe, so it says scan here. The barcodes are there in order to reserve. And there were no prices. There were no prices because I'm gonna tell you why. Really, if you're going on a helicopter ride, you don't care how much it costs. You know what I mean? Like, these are people that are vacationing, they're coming to New York City, and they want the experience. When I go away on vacation, which I haven't done in a while, but I guess this for me is a vacation. I'm not sure if you would call it that. Ugh, Trump, because I am working. Oops, sorry. Remember to get a license plate. I want to get a license plate. Probably get the orange one, because you know orange is my favorite color. Oh, it's only $5. Wonderful. I'm going to get a license plate in orange. It says New York City, and I will put that on the compound. I will hang that on the compound. Here is the equivalent of street food. but all the food is cooked. So everyone who's going to Rockaway route, I think the Rockaway route stops over at Jersey, Pier 17. No, a little further over. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to where the ship, the Mexican ship, crashed. Last week when I went walking and honored those that had passed, the ship was still there. There was a tugboat or something, police tugboat, that was keeping it safe from people getting to it or whatever. And of course there has to be an investigation. They don't want anyone to tamper with stuff. So I have not, so the goal is to get closer. I want to get closer. So if it means, so see that ferry there coming in? I think that ferry came from that side. So I'm grabbing my niece. I told her, come hang out with Auntie. And so I'm grabbing my niece. And we're going to meet up on Sunday. And we're going to take the ferry to the Brooklyn side. And I think along that route, there are restaurants and places to eat. So we're meeting around 12:30. I probably will not have breakfast until I get home. So there's city cruises. I mean, why do a city cruise if you got something like this? Okay, it's the experience. So I would tell people, if you want to know how to, get from the Wall Street area into Brooklyn, I'm coming down the steps here. This is a place. So Manhattan will always provide a place for people to sit and relax. This is usually very busy, but it's Friday. Most people work from home. So this ferry is going into there. I went online to look at the different locations. There's also one that leaves from the Bronx, which is surprising because back in the day, look, when your neighborhood changes, they give you a relaxing way to get around. Let me get up these damn steps. I didn't see this. I'm not hiking it up. I caught a cold about a week and a half ago. Getting better, but I still have a scarf on and my coat because I read some article about a different strain of COVID. I'm on the train with my mask. I'm on the bus with my mask. I ain't trying to go down. Let's watch this speedy boat. I like the fast ones. Hold on, it's coming in. Whee! I'm trying to track it. I want to be on that one with a life jacket on and having my tetanus shot because that is not the Caribbean. Okay. So I think that'll be fun, and then I'll decide if, no, I don't want to go too far. Going a little bit further into, is it Red Hook? Whatever the section is, it's going to mean getting back longer. I didn't think she was going to come with me, and so I was trying to map out how do I get to that section of Brooklyn, look at the ship, and then get to the railroad to bring me back to Queens, because I really don't want to end up back in downtown Manhattan. I want to end up close to home. It's going to be on a Sunday, and I really don't want to be too far from home because I have to go to work. Let me make it smaller. I smoke a ganja. I got to be to work on Monday. So, yeah. I made a mason jar of overnight oats for my lunch because I was able to put some oatmeal some walnuts, yogurts, sea moss. I'm gonna have that. That is making me feel a little bit better. So I just have to heat that up when I like to put a little bit of warm milk in there and mix it. So I'll do that. Oh, wait. Where am I going? Here I am. I'm going here. Going back down this way. Okay, see, people bike. This is a bike path, so there are rules for everything. You got the path going from there in that direction, and then a path going in the other direction. It is important that you look both ways so that you do not get ran over. So once you do that, then you have to come to this curb and then look both ways again. Okay, and we have it. All right, 180 Maiden Lane. I remember a long time ago I applied for a job, I think at 100 Maiden Lane. I was like in my 20s, my late 20s. I couldn't find a place. You know, Google Maps and GPS wasn't invented yet. And I walked around these little tiny streets. Anyway, never made the interview, didn't get the job. And when all of that stuff happened down by the World Trade Center, I was thankful that I was in Midtown and have been at my company for about 15 years. So what I do notice in this area, there are a lot of hotels. I want to show you something. Do you see the windows? I'm like, ooh, I want a big window on one of my buildings that I build in the Gambia. A big scenic window, you know? Then you have to, well, get to, all things are possible. Of course, there will be the security guards at the window still. So one of the things I try to do, I try to keep walking. So the light is about to change. It doesn't allow for me to cross the street. So I'll walk a little further up. People are putting out plants, flowers, and use a little bit of watering. It's starting to grow. It's been so nice. It was overcast today, earlier. It was overcast yesterday, and I wasn't really happy, but I was able to walk home, so I got some exercise in. So this is the key. There's always a place to sit. This is nice because it is in the shade, but anyone that knows me knows I do not like shade. Isn't that weird? If it's going to be hot, I want it to be hot. If I'm outside in the heat and then I get in the shade and my body temperature starts to go low, I start sneezing, which is fine. That was okay, I guess, before COVID. You sneeze on a train or on a bus, people be looking at you like you damn near got Ebola. So that's another reason why nail salon and a whole bunch of colors. That is one thing I miss. The selection of colors is limited in the Gambia, but you take what you can get. The price is very low. Here is the hardware store. I think I want to get some tools. Oh, look, I'm on the camera. See that? Where's the camera's there? Oh, So, let me see. I want to get, all right, I'm looking. I want to get some tools to bring back with me. I do have a tool kit. I have a drill set. I left the drill set there. And, but just to be sure, I will bring some other stuff. Yeah, they have stuff at, what is that store? The black and yellow, oh, I'm forgetting the name of the store. It's like Home Depot or True Value. Inco. Is it called Inco? Inco? Anyway, I want to see what they have here. Because sometimes there isn't a wide selection. Like for instance, I would get a wrench, what they call a spanner for the car to tighten or untighten the bolts on the tire, right? You go to the store, they don't have a selection. I want the spanner on a ring, a key ring. And you have the option, excuse me, they're doing construction and I don't like this. You want the option of having more than one. I gotta buy one 12-inch, one 10-inch, one 14-inch. So I'll look for that. And I don't know if that's gonna still be in the car. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, coffee, and chocolate dip. I don't go in here. It's just streets too small, which is why I can't find anything. I was used to big streets with numbers. The streets with words. There's no real order. It's not alphabetical. And so I couldn't find Maiden Lane. This is a beautiful view. I love seeing I like the small streets, how the buildings are designed. And then this here, beautiful. And then that down there. Okay, I think I'm getting back late. I'm nice and hot. Thank you for joining me. Let me keep it moving. I will show you more of the World Trade before I head back, which will be soon. Someone asked me, oh, are you not coming back? Look, you ever heard of somebody building a house and then leaving it? Nah. I work too hard. Oh, I'm trying to do a shortcut. Okay. Let me go around. I like to exercise, even though I'm very hot. I could be hot because it's outside, and then for some very strange reason, oh, and I gotta come to the Federal Building. They have the Orisha out front and something else, and I'm like, what is this building? So I have to come down here. I'll Google it first. It's called Federal Hall National Memorial. I gotta go check that out. Look at that view. That is Pine Church, or something like that. That church down here is on Pine Street, I think. Look, don't quote me. I just work down here. But I love the view, the angles, the colors. Some of the colors remind me of home, yellow, terracotta, concrete gray. Okay. Woo-wee. I'm gonna also do a little bit of walking when I get off, because your girl, she's been eating. She been eating out here in these streets, all that good food. So here we go. And then I'll show you another time the Woolworth building. I stop here every morning to get my breakfast, and they have beautiful faces of Black queens on the building. I'll share that. Happy Friday.